Hey YouTube World, I am back with another video and I have another exciting unboxing for you today. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably looking for an alternative to the Christian Dior book tote. And of course, we know the drama that's happening with Dior right now. And you kind of just like feeling like, ugh, I wanted to buy the Dior book tote, but now it's just like that icky feeling and kind of lingering thought of how they treat their employees is just like, maybe I should look at some alternatives. And of course, this one is going to be a fraction of what the Dior book tote costs. So let's just get into the unboxing. It's in a really nice box with their iconic print there. And then the bag itself comes with this really nice dust bag that is kind of like linen cotton feeling, if I can talk. And then you can see their logo right there as well, Etro. So funny thing is that I was Googling the information about this brand, and Super Jacob apparently decided to pop up on my phone where he has like a 38 second video on educating us on how to pronounce this brand, which I wish there was I wish like he can make all kinds of videos telling me how to pronounce brand name or model names, because I seem to butcher every single thing that I cover. But it's not Etro, it's Etro. I'll link his video down below. I watched it like 15 times just to make sure. Now I'm like super self-conscious. Anyways, so the bag that I purchased is going to be the medium Love Trottoir tote. Isn't this gorgeous? I'm in love. I am totally in love. Before I go into the show and tell, you know how I like to dig down a little bit when it comes to the history of the brand and learning a little bit about it at least, right? So Etro is an Italian brand that is headquarters in Milan, and it was founded back in 1968 by a man called Gino Etro, who was an antiques dealer. And I guess he was famous for having over 300 antique shawls, which I think is like 300. Is that a lot for, again, maybe they were super special shawls or whatever, but it's 300 a lot for you to be a professional. There's some people out there with over like 300 bags, right? But you also have to think about how people nowadays overconsume, whereas back in the day, people don't really have that much stuff. I don't know. These are just my thoughts and opinions. So they started this brand and they grew the brand organically and turned out to be really successful. The company itself, their executives and the founder took a trip to India. And I guess they took inspiration from all of the prints there. And that is how their iconic print was founded and released in 1981. Since then, the company has grown quite a bit, but today it is privately owned, about 60%, by this private equity company called L Catterton, which is actually funny because they're based out of Connecticut here in the United States. What's really interesting is that at one point, this private equity company was funded, or they got merged, something, by none other, you guessed it, LVMH. They have a hand apparently in everything. So do what you will with that information, but I thought that was pretty interesting because they have a stake in this private equity firm. I guess indirectly they own Etro as well. This particular bag had piqued my interest for quite a while. My first interaction or encountering Etro back in the day was when I visited the fashion outlets of Chicago, which again, used to be 15 minutes from where I live in Chicago, so I go there all the time. And I walked into their store and just kind of looked around. It was quite overwhelming with their iconic prints, which is, it's an Italian brand. Makes complete sense because very bright. The colors are very vibrant. Kind of speaks to their culture, in my opinion, where Italians are just very cheerful people. They're very loud. They like to express their culture. And it's just a very out there brand, in my opinion. Whereas if you look at, in comparison, like the Nordic people, the Swedish people, most of their designs are very minimalistic, very low key, no logos, not very loud whatsoever, right? And this Italian brand is the complete opposite. And it really speaks to their culture. So I thought that was really interesting and just an observation that I've made. Kind of like Gucci, right? Gucci is a very loud brand. So again, going back to me visiting the store and the fashion outlets in Chicago, again, it's just a very overwhelming. Prices weren't that great, so I never purchased anything from there. But it did put this particular brand on my radar for me to start exploring. And when I saw this particular bag in, online retailers, I had been eyeballing this bag for a while. And I really like this particular color is because usually they come in like 6 different colors and it's gorgeously embroidered, but it's a little too much for my taste. So that's why I never purchased it. But when I saw this particular piece where it's just basically a light blue and a baby blue, it's more uniform looking. To me, it's a lot more seamless. That's why I was just like, yes, I want that bag. But the pricing is not what I wanted to pay for. I'll talk about pricing at the end and how much I got it for, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll make sure to link everything I'm talking about today down below in the show notes. So this particular bag is everything I wish the Dior book tote offered. And you've heard the opinions of everybody who purchased the Dior book tote is that the handles get grimy, there's quality issues, a little sticky, it gets really grimy at the bottom, corner wear, et cetera, et cetera. For a bag that costs over $3,800, depending on the size that you purchase, that is a lot of money for a grimy bag after a couple uses. Now this one, to kind of just give you like the slow roll here, and that's what I love about watching YouTube videos is that you can see that every aspect of the bag as opposed to just a couple pictures, maybe a video online from their website. And if you buy from like third, authorized dealers or whatever, the pictures are even more lacklusting. So that's why I wanted to show you the B-roll. You can see the top handles right here. Yes, I know this is not a direct comparison of the Dior book tote because it has longer handles. This one is going to be much shorter, so keep that in mind. However, the handles itself, you can see there's a lot more structured. It is very well built with the 4 studs right here, and it's basically screwed down. If you can see the interior, it's screwed down, so it's not going anywhere. What's shocking to me when I first opened this bag is that I thought this was going to be hard plastic and very stiff. This is actually rubber. Can you believe it? This is made of rubber. It's a very stiff rubber. It's a flexible rubber is what I'm trying to get at. And then you can see it's going to be leather piping on the side, which the stitching is gorgeous, impeccable. And then at the bottom of the bag, you can also see that it is leather right here. It also has feet. Now, if you're doing a side-by-side comparison with the Dior book tote, no feet, no leather, and yet this one cost me about 20% of the actual Dior, okay, let's just say 80% off of the Dior book tote. And then you can see the fabric here and it's gorgeous embroidery and the Pegasus right here. And then of course you can see like this line here, which is like a resemblance of the E. Nice bird here. And then of course on the back, you can see the gorgeous embroidery as well. The side is going to be the same thing. So overall, this is just a gorgeous bag. Now the interior, it does come with a shoulder strap. This strap is going to be a really fun color. And then you can see on the other side, it does say Etro upside down. Here we go. Etro engraved, not engraved, but also embroidered into the strap itself as well. There's a leather piece here that attaches to the hardware. If I'm looking at the hardware, the gold hardware, really high quality in my opinion. And it's just every part of this bag I'm really happy with. Now the interior, let me take off the strap to show you the interior. It's just an open compartment and you can see the fun stripe print that is in there, which I think is also their iconic print. And then the interior, you just got their logo right there with their Pegasus on there. This bag is made in Italy, just so you know, if you care. And then you can see a zip pocket. There aren't any pockets here, unfortunately. I wish they did. Not that I use those interior pockets very often, but it is just an open compartment. Now, I haven't used this bag yet. I will definitely be using this particular bag this summer because it's just a really nice summer bag in my opinion. And I'm quite excited to use this. I also love that this is a brand that kind of like if you see it on the streets, like you know, as opposed to the Christian Dior just kind of plastered all over the book tote itself or the tote itself. And then over here, you can see Etro that is engraved or part of the handle in a very, very low-key way. This is just a work of art. I mean, it literally has every pro that I can think of that I want that the Dior book tote does not offer. Now, if you have the Dior tote and you love it, I am so happy for you. Don't listen to me. I'm just some random person on the internet bashing on Dior. I love Dior. But again, with Dior and the drama that's happening and you're just looking for an alternative, I think this is a beautiful option for you to add to your collection. Now, you may think, and if you've been watching me for a while, you might be a little surprised. This is not the usual kind of bag that I go for. I'm very neutral. I like very low-key kind of bags. But when I saw this, I just like, this is a work of art. I need this in my life. Before I talk about pricing, like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And do follow me on Instagram because I've been pretty active about posting stories, my bag of the day, and of course, if I find any deals, I'll make sure to post that on my stories for you so that you can take advantage of it if you are going to be purchasing something and you've been eyeballing something. Pricing and timing is everything. So do follow me on Instagram, and of course, do check out my show notes as well because I did start a running list of coupon codes that you can take advantage of. You've been with me for a while. I have said this, a lot of YouTubers that get sponsorships or gifts from these particular brands, usually it's indie brands, right? Take advantage of those coupon codes because most of the time you are not going to find them on the internet just by Google search. You may find some, but take a look at some YouTubers that have affiliation links and whatnot. One, you're supporting them, and two, usually they have the highest discount that you can find out there. So, getting into the pricing, we know the Dior book tote is about $3,800, right? Depending on the size that you get. This one retails for about $1,850, which is already like half the price of the Dior book tote. But now they're on second markdown. This one was about $600 or $700. Isn't that crazy? For the craftsmanship and the level of detail that goes into this, for something with so much intricate detail and a fraction of Dior's pricing, I mean, to me, that's just a no-brainer, right? I'm just like over the moon about the pricing. This hits that, checks that box and everything. So I haven't worn this bag yet, so I'll let you know the wear and tear as I'm wearing it, but I will be incorporating this in my summer attire this year. So I really hope you enjoyed this unboxing. I had a lot of fun opening this bag. I was so excited when it arrived, and the quality just blew me away. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see you all next time.